Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Massé Shootout, Sunday Night Shootout finals. We've finally got to the last two. We had 8 in our competition, now down to the last 2. We've got Chiu playing Marco Teutscher. You got anything to say there, Dean?
Well, obviously, both players have international experience. Mark is coming from Taiwan, although he's based here, as is Marco. But certainly Marco has superior international qualities, including being the 2019 US Open 10-ball champion. So he has an array of international titles. Certainly starting favourite for the match.
Absolutely, Dean. Now, our balls tonight are Predator Arcos 2 balls. The cloth on the table is a Simonis 860, and the table that we're playing on is a Brunswick Gold Crown 5. All right, well, we're just about ready to get into the action.
Marco, this is the end of a pretty long year. It started out January in Derby City and it's finishing here, Hamilton, New Zealand. It's a strange year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been crazy so far. I mean, we're pretty lucky that we're still in a situation like this with the COVID here, that we not have that many problems right now. But yeah, it's been a crazy year, yeah, definitely.
Judging by the way you've been playing, you've still been keeping up your practice. I mean, you're looking in pretty sharp form.
Yeah, no, for me it doesn't matter what's happening in the world. I'll always be practicing. That never changes. But yeah, like I think competitive pool, it's been a little bit less, of course, like the overseas tournaments and playing the big players. But apart from that, yeah, practice goes on. Yeah.
Yep. Now, Mark Chiu, you've played Mark quite a bit in the past.
Yeah, I played him a few times. Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, you must be feeling pretty confident. You've played New Zealand Open 8-ball today, made your way through to the finals. You don't really come across any problems there. I mean, you took that title out pretty easily, so you must be feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, of course I'm feeling confident. I'm not playing to win only. I just want to play good pool, and that's my main goal, and that's why I take every match so serious. It's not about playing your opponent. It's about me putting a good performance out. So I just focus on that, and that's all what matters actually.
Oh, that's great, Marco. Well, best of luck tonight, and we'll talk to you later on.
Yes,
Thanks.
Thanks.
Well, congratulations to a start, Marco, on making it through to the final. Not so much luck earlier on today. You dipped out in the semi-final in the New Zealand 8-ball Open, but what's your game? 8, 9 or 10 ball?
I think definitely 9-ball, which is the one I'm gonna play shortly. Yeah, because most of Taiwanese start playing a 9-ball in my age, and not many play 8-ball actually.
Okay, yep. So moving into tonight's game, last week you played Marvin. There was quite a bit of strategy, a lot of safety play in that game. What are you sort of going to be focusing on tonight in terms of that?
I think it depends on how my break works out. Because last week both of us didn't break well, so ended up the ball spread out quite ugly. That's why many safety games are back and forth and slowing down the game. And I've been practicing the break a lot, so hopefully I can break better today.
Yep. So I mean, there was quite a long match last week. Do you think that's going to stand you in good stead for tonight? Race to 15, a longer match.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna be around 2.5 to 3 hours matches. Yep.
And you're sponsored by Chiu, so tell me a bit about the cues that you're playing with tonight.
Oh, I'm playing a Synergy Q series with a 12.5 diameter Q, which play quite nicely for me. And with the same one with Champion Bonin, the best player in the States, right? Yeah.
No, well done. Okay, well, congratulations again on making it this far, Mark, and good luck tonight against Marco.
Thank you, Bernie.
Yep, thanks.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The format for tonight is 9-ball, race to 15. Jimmy Henry is our referee, and we'll get the boys ready to lag.
Marco Teutscher versus Mark Chiu.
Closest to the bolt cushion gets the break off.
Oh, it's a good lag from both of them there, but Chiu won the leg.
Yes, and I suppose if you get the break and you start off strongly, then it's a great advantage.
Absolutely. Mark Chiu, he's been playing the game since he was 14 years old. He's won quite a few titles over the years, 10 ball, 9 ball, and Open New Zealand Open 9 ball runner-up. So yeah, he's certainly accomplished a wee bit. He likes using a Q-Tech Synergy cue for his playing cue, and his break cue is a 2-Tech Breach, and his jump cue is a Q-Tech Propel. Marco, he's been playing the game for a wee while now. Where's his stats? Yes, he's an international representative, won the US Open 10 ball, which is an absolute awesome effort. Australian 10 ball champion, Melbourne 8 ball Open champion, US Open 9 ball qualifier. The list goes on.
Great break from Mark. Wouldn't like that cue ball where it is next to the left-hand side cushion, though.
No, as he snookered himself on that 2, Dean. Yes. Okay, for you people out there that don't know this game, this is the game of 9 ball. This is, you must pot the balls in sequence, so that's the smallest through to the 9 at all times. To win the game, you pot all the balls and the 9. You can play the lowest ball on the table and pot the 9, and you win the game.
Yes, I think the thing was he lost control of the cue ball there, and there's every likelihood he'd be snookered after the next shot.
Yeah, I don't think Marco's really got a shot on here, so I'll just be looking to play safety. Probably bring the white ball back in behind the 6-7. No, he's just...
Well, you can play it both ways. You can play the 2 ball safe on the top cushion, or play the cue ball in behind the others, but he's chosen to put distance between the two, between the object ball and the cue ball.
Okay, Dean, do you have a favourite here tonight?
Well, Marco has all the true qualities of an international player, so I think that counts for something. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy ride for him, but when it comes to playing for big titles, you've got to favour players like that.
Yeah, I think if Mark can just stay with him and have a good break and get a good spread, then he's got a chance.
Well, look, he had a good break. You know, he got the break and he had a good break. And this frame is, you know, only just beginning. So it's anybody's match. I said to Mark, you know, prior to the match, if you can just stay close with Marco, you know, through the first 4 frames, then you've got every chance.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. Marco's certainly being the favourite. But, you know, like you say, Mark didn't get here because he can't play.
Well, obviously being a favourite like Marco Teutscher is, that puts a certain amount of pressure on him as well.
All right, we've got Marco for the 2 into the corner. Be looking just a soft screw on this to get on the 3. He's put a lot into that. Okay. Got a good crowd in tonight, watching our Sunday Night Shootout final. We had 8 players over a 4-week period playing to get into the finals. Okay, Marco's just probably a little straight on this, and being on the cushion like that sort of makes that shot just a little bit harder, Dean.
Yes, there's only one spin you can put on the cue ball, and that's top spin, so you can't really control the white any other way.
He's played that well. Yeah, I think Marco composes himself very well at the table, Dean. You know, he never really loses control of that white ball. He always seems to stay pretty much in control. And that's, you know, makes for a hard recipe to beat.
Well, I think it's a key thing early on in the match is to retain control over yourself, obviously over the cue ball as well, ultra important. And he's just looking, coming around the table now to look for position.
Yes, just surveying the table just to make sure he gets on the right side of that 6.
He's okay.
Got a hell of a lot of reverse side on that ding.
Yes, but not the ideal angle on the 6. He has to get onto the 7 ball after this.
Yeah, kind of just clip off it, just to sort of like use the white ball as a, use the 7 as a break.
Well, if he can slice the side of the 7 ball and promote it towards the same pocket as the 6, that would be a shot.
Yeah.
Almost did it. It's still on though for a cut.
I just think the angle that he's got here, he's going to lose control of the white a wee bit. Possibly what he would probably prefer to do is cannon into the white. Into the 9, sorry.
Let's see how he plays it. There's 2 ways, slow or right round the table. Oh, he's played the double. That's a tremendous shot from Marco.
Oh, we didn't see it that way. But certainly he did.
Excellent first frame. Marco puts 1 frame on the board.
I've got our referee Jimmy Henry tonight. Setting up the balls. The balls, the one at the top, 9 in the middle. The rack is our magic rack. This is a race to 15 9 ball.
I suppose you mean by magic rack is that, you know, the ideal thing for both players is that all the balls are touching each other. This is what Marco's come around to look at now.
That's right, Dean. Yes, every ball, if every ball's touching on that rack, you get a better spread of the balls.
And so the shot is you screw into the 1 ball and try and pocket it somewhere, perhaps the centre pocket.
Mainly the centre pocket, that's where they're looking to pot the 1 into the centre.
Well, he's made it.
Yeah, the one thing I've noticed with Marco's break is that it's a very controlled break, and he always seems to get that really good spread of the balls, unlike the other players who seem to be, you know, hampered by another ball every time they sort of break. So it's a big thing having a good break, isn't it, Dean?
Absolutely, it's almost a game within a game. He's got the thin cut on the 2 ball here.
Yeah, we're just looking to roll this in just to try and stay in position for the 4 into the centre. Okay. Oh, sorry, the 3 ball. I didn't see that. It looks like a 7 ball, but it's 3. He's on the 3 ball.
Looks very different on TV, doesn't it, as opposed to in the arena.
Yes.
The colours look very different.
Yes, these are a new ball that Predator have brought out. These are the Arcos 2 balls, and they're actually a very nice looking ball, but the colours on them are slightly different to what we're used to. We're used to playing with Aramith.
The Belgian suppliers?
Yes, that's right. And we've got a Simonis 860 cloth, which is the preferred cloth of most players.
Played with a bit of check side to keep the cue ball in the middle of the table, so this shouldn't be a problem for Marco. And pocket the 6 and screw back down the table, back spin onto the 7 ball. Well, he's gone a little bit far. I think he's going to have to cannon the 8-ball out of the side cushion area.
No, I think he'll be able to screw off this Dean, and he'll just have enough angle just to get past that 8, I'm fairly sure. He won't be looking to screw into the 8, he'll just screw past
Ideally,
it.
yes. A little bit straight on the 8-ball, but I'm sure I can get the cue ball back up the other end of the table again towards the 9.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit straight, but he'll be fine. He'll just do it, screw back down for the 9. Yeah, I think he's put a little bit more into that than he needed, but you know, he's got options. I think as long as you get the white ball sort of relatively in the middle of the table and the 9's, you know, relatively out there in the middle as well, it sort of makes, you know, the options a little bit, you know, more available.
Anyway, 9-ball in the centre pocket for a 2-0 lead. He's done it.
Well, this isn't what Mark would be looking for. Marco getting into a 2-0 lead.
Yes, I just think, you know, a player doesn't really, they don't settle into their rhythm until they win a frame or two. The same in snooker, exactly the same thing applies. So very important for Mark to get a frame or two on the board in the next, shall we say, 2 or 3 frames, and stay in touch with Marco.
And while we've got you here, Dean, in regard to snooker, are you still have a lot to do with the snooker scene, or, you know, the master side of things? Are you still in touch with that, or?
Well, obviously COVID came into a lot of things this year, so yes, I was going to play senior tour events this year, but everything was cancelled. So definitely looking at getting back into it again in 2021.
Oh, excellent. Okay, Mark's potted the 1 in the middle. He's also potted the 2. He's actually potted 5 balls off the break, no, 4 balls off the break. So that's a relatively good break. But he's looks like he's snookered on the 4 here, Dean.
Well, I think he's got 3 along the side cushion first.
Oh, he's got the 3. Oh, there's the 3. Looks like a 7.
On our screens, it looks like a 7. Yes.
Yes.
Out there, he's on the 3.
Yes, exactly.
It's a bit ambiguous, I know.
Just got to get used to that.
So cue ball should be twice across the table, 2 cushions, and out for the 4 ball.
Okay, I think he's okay here.
I mean, the easiest way to play this shot is to stun the 4 ball for Mark. He's looking at this angle now, stun the 4 ball, get the cue ball off 2 cushions and back round for the 5 into the far right corner pocket.
Yeah, it looks like he's playing bottom, so it looks like he's playing off the 2 rails. He's played that well. Yeah, you know, when the balls are all out in the open like that, Dean, you know, you've got to take advantage of the situation you're in now, and you can't afford to make any mistakes. So, you know.
This is just a gentle screw back. Doesn't want to get too close to this. He's in perfect position. Stun shot. 9 ball in the opposite corner pocket. Frame over.
Oh, that'll give him a bit of confidence, Dean. That'll give him something to think about. So.
Yes, I just, as I said prior, I just think Mark has to stay in touch. It's first to 15, so there's a long way to go in this match. But if Marco had a runaway lead, then I don't think Mark would stay in touch. So very important to win that frame. Right, important break off for Marco Teutscher.
I'd like to do a big shout out to Massé for hosting this event, Sunday Night Shootout. And for all you people out there that are watching, share it with your friends. I'm sure you've got a favourite player out there today. Some will be looking at Mark, some will be looking at Marco. So yeah, get your friends interested. He's been very consistent with that break, Dean.
Great break from Marco. He's on the 2 ball. The 3 is down the opposite end of the table, so he has to negotiate the white ball.
Yeah, he doesn't want to cannon into that 5.
I think that's the thing, yes. He must avoid that 5 ball.
I think if he hits that 5 ball full, he could go off in that corner there. So he'd be looking just to sort of maybe play it with a touch and bottom left.
Yes, there's a bit of left-hand side on the cue ball here. Below centre striking, almost like a stun shot, really. Well, he's hit it well. That's as good as you could get.
Crowd appreciating that shot. Okay, he's probably come a little bit low than what he wanted, but he'll be looking just to stun out off this 3 to come out down for the 4. He may screw off 2 rails, but he may stun it. He screwed off 2 rails.
Good positional shot, whichever way he played it, because the 5 ball is obviously available into the opposite corner pocket.
Yeah, Dean, with you being the ambassador for snooker and dabble a little bit in 9 ball, do you like 9 ball as a game? Do you think it's very familiar to snooker? Or?
Well, I think it's a snooker player's form of pool. Obviously, I'm a career snooker player, so played 18 seasons on the Pro Tour. So, but if I played any pool game, it would be 9 ball.
Yes, I think the fundamentals are very similar. I mean, in 9 ball, obviously, if you haven't got a shot on, you're looking for a snooker, just like snooker. If you haven't got a shot on, you're looking for a snooker. The only difference is we have a jump shot game in 9 ball, whereas you can actually jump over the ball and pot the ball that you're intending to hit. Whereas in snooker, that's highly illegal.
Yes, there's the main thing for me would be the positional side with the cue ball control on a 9 ball table, very similar to snooker. I think you play for maybe specific areas on a 9 ball table. In snooker, you play for almost exact positions.
Okay, he's played this absolutely perfect.
He's playing for exact positions. That's great play.
Yeah, it's very seldom you'll see Marco get out of position. He's certainly got that white ball on a string.
Well, that's the key to regaining or retaining rather control over the table, especially in snooker, is that when your opponent comes to the table, they're in a very compromising situation. Very similar with 9 ball.
Yeah, it's all about making it look. It looks easy because of how they position that white ball, as opposed to the same in snooker. I mean, when you see Ronnie O'Sullivan playing, he just makes the game look ridiculously easy because he's got such good white ball control. And not only that, he can pot pretty much from anywhere.
Well, he's the Lewis Hamilton of snooker, isn't he, really? So.
Okay, we've got Mark Chiu to break.
These players are breaking very well, I must say.
Okay, he hasn't really got the desired angle here to get on the 3, but if he just runs this in, he may cannon into the 5 or and use it as a break. Ball's pretty much out in the open.
Yes, I think this is an important shot. If Mark can re-establish himself in this match.
Okay, he's done okay. He's avoided the 5, and he's got a good little angle here. He'll just play this with probably a little bit of check. Not to straighten it up too much, but just to get it back down table and try not to snooker himself. So. He would have probably liked to end up maybe a little bit higher on this shot, but if he just plays it with maybe a little bit of left.
Well, he's played it with left backspin, as you said, Tony. The problem is he's a little bit straight on this.
He probably wanted to be out just a little bit wider on that. 'Cause if he does try to screw this back, he's probably going to end up close to the side rail. It's probably not really where he wants to be ideally. He may have enough angle to kick it out. Yeah, he just wants to be just off straight on that 5 once he's potted that 4. So we'll just see how he goes with this.
Yes, he must get good position on the 5 ball there, as you see it in your screen.
Okay, he's thinking about it. He's given himself enough time.
Well, there's one way of playing it, and that's screwing right back down to the bolt cushion and out again. Let's see if he plays that. I don't think he did.
Yeah, I don't think that was the intended shot, but this cloth seems to be biting quite a lot tonight. Or do you think the boys are just over-screwing the balls?
Well, whatever's happening, he's got a difficult shot here. He's got a very thin cut into the right corner pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that's the option. I think he'd be better off with a bank shot, because if he's going to lose control of the white if he tries to cut this in, and then that could, result in an in-off.
That's the thing, you do have to control the white ball. Well, he went for the bank shot, but he's missed it. Has he got the snooker?
Yeah, he's a little unfortunate there. I think Marco can come off the side rail here and pop the 5. He's just got to avoid the 9 as he's coming down the table. He'll have to play this probably with speed and a little bit more. He'll be looking to see, what's the desired angle to get off this side rail and pop this 5.
It's not too difficult pocketing the 5, but to get onto the 6, it's going to take a very good shot.
You see, now this is the problem here, Ding. The 9 ball. Okay, I think he may be okay, but it's certainly not an easy 6.
Sitting cut 6 into the left corner. Got to control the white ball. It's going to go down and back up the table again. Difficult shot for Marco.
We'll be having a 10-minute break after the 12th frame played, so if you want to get yourself a cup of tea and a bicky, and certainly do so.
Well, he's played that shot well. He's played it with check side, which has meant not going round the table too much, but he is a long way away from the 7 ball now. Makes the pot a lot more difficult.
Yeah, this will certainly test his cueing, Ding.
Pressure shot.
Yeah, I think he'd just be looking at a soft screw here. He doesn't want to hit the ball too hard. And it's fairly straight, so as long as he keeps still on the shot and plays through the white, he should be okay.
Certainly taking his time over this important shot.
Yeah, I think the difficulty with this shot is the distance between the white and the 7. Very well executed. For those of you that have just tuned in, this is our Massé Sunday Night Shootout finals. We've got Mark Chiu. He was born in 1987. He resides in Auckland, hometown Taichung, Taiwan, and he's been playing this game since he was 14 years old. Marco, he was born in 1992. He resides in Hamilton, works for Massé. He was born in Haarlem, Netherlands, so he's a Dutchman. And the table that we are using today is a gold crown. We're playing with the Predator Arcos 2 balls, and we're using a Simonis 860 cloth. And we've got Jimmy Henry as our referee tonight. Okay. So Marco, he's just looking at the pack and he's not happy, so he's got Jimmy there just to reset the pack. Marco's happy. Marco to break. I'd like to put a shout out to a good friend of mine, Grant Loveridge. He'll be watching in his big lazy boy chair today on his nice big 65-inch screen. I hope you're enjoying it, mate. Okay, nice break there by Marco. One in the centre. 2 balls still spinning. Okay, yeah, he's got a difficult shot here. He's got to play the 2. Now he can either try and screw back up off the 2 to get position on the 3, which is on the opposite rail. Not an easy shot. Or he can maybe run through with a little bit of running and try and get position on the 3 that way. Not an easy shot.
Well, yes, the difficulty is that both balls are on opposite sides of the table, so there's a lot of work to do with the cue ball to get into position. He may not even consider it.
Yeah, I think it's more of a forcing shot, Dean. You know, when you're sort of left with a shot like this, you're forcing the shots when you're trying to get position like this. So sometimes a safety option certainly is the better option.
Well, certainly, Tony, the harder you hit the ball, the more margin for error. I'm not sure if he'll even play the pot.
He's certainly looking at where he's going to be leaving the white ball. Okay, he's playing the push out. Is he playing the push out? Maybe. He's thinking of the push out. I think he's maybe looking at the push out here, Dean, and just trying to leave Mark a hard cut on the 2, maybe, into the corner, rather than going for it himself.
Well, he's doing what you suggested.
Okay, what he's done here is he's actually played the 4 into a position where if Mark does pot the 2, it's just going to be that much more harder for Mark to find position. He's got to come high on the 3, he can't come low. So what that means is he can't pot the 3 into the opposite top left-hand corner. He's only got the bottom right-hand corner as an option.
He's used that play again option.
Oh yes. I'm sure Marco would have thought about this. He would have thought, well, okay, if he does put me back into play again, this is what I'm going to do.
I think that was always going to be the safety shot as an option, and Marco's played it very well.
Okay, he's still left him a shot on here. I mean, he could just clip off this 2 and come off the side rail and back in behind the 5, the 9 or the 8. There is another way to play it. He could soft play it and try and sneak in behind the 6, but certainly the level of skill to do that is a lot higher. I think he's tried to bank that, Dean.
Into the left corner, yes, but he's left it on.
Yeah, that was a big shot. Yeah, I think that's the difference between the professional and the amateur, Dean. I think the amateur has a tendency to take shots on that really he shouldn't be taking on, whereas the professional would choose to play a safety as opposed to a pot.
Well, either way, this is an opportunity for Marco to get back into this frame. 3 ball. Difficult on the side cushion. I'm not sure if you can develop it from here.
Yeah, you'd certainly have to put a lot of bottom on it to get it to come back. Maybe looking at maybe screwing into the 3.
Or off the 9, but he's deep screwing. Didn't make it, no. He won't be happy with that.
No, it certainly wasn't an easy shot to screw back off. Not with the angle, anyway.
Cue ball up behind the 8 ball, perhaps? 8 or 9?
He's just slightly underhit that, to be honest. But Mark Chiu's lucky that he's back in the frame here. He's got to be careful that if he does clip off this 3 ball, not to leave it over the corner pocket. And also, he's also got to be careful too, if he does play the edge of the 3, not to go in off in the bottom right-hand corner.
Sounds like there's a lot for Mark to think about, Tony.
There certainly is. He's always thinking, I can tell you that.
I'm glad I'm in the commentary chair.
Yes, it's a bit too much for this time of the evening. Okay, he's hit that quite fat, and he's actually ended up getting away with it. I don't think Marco can hit that 3 full ball, but you know, and maybe have a bank shot. Maybe he can. Maybe he can just hit it just off full ball and still bank it into the middle.
Well, I think the cue ball would stay down onto the right-hand side of the table as you see it, so that's a possible option for sure.
Yeah, I think he's played that relatively well. Certainly put the pressure back on Mark. Okay, he can't see the 3, so he's going to have to come off the top rail there to kick it in the bum and try and get a safety out of it. He hasn't really got a hell of a lot of option.
Cushion first, left-hand side. Send the ball down the table.
Yeah, I think he played the right shot. He was just a little unfortunate.
Marco will have a go at this 3 ball along the side rail. 4 ball available in the middle or corner pocket afterwards.
Yeah, I think he'll probably stun out for this rather than just play the run through, because he's got a chance if he plays that run through, snookering himself behind the 6. Okay, he's got up. He's having another look at it.
Well, for me, the shot is to drag it in, but you know, I'm not out there. You know, Marco has to play the shot himself. Drag means backspin, slow speed.
Okay, I think he's looking to play that shot, Dean. Yeah, that's exactly how he played it. Okay, yeah, he's got to just be a little careful here because he is quite close to that middle pocket. He wouldn't possibly like to hit it too hard because he obviously want to come out for the 5 ball. But he's just got to be careful on how hard he hits it into these middles, because sometimes they can pop out.
Yes, they're not really like snooker table centre pockets, are they? They've got a very abrupt angle to them.
Okay, for that one reason, he's just chosen to take it down into the bottom right-hand corner.
Yes, perhaps an easier pot. Deep screw on the 5, back to the 6 ball in the opposite right-hand corner pocket.
He's played that nice. He didn't want to end up on that side rail like that though, but he's definitely screwed it back to give himself a chance to pot it anyway. Yeah, I think with some shots, Dean, sometimes, you know, you have to play certain shots a different way to get position, and he certainly sees those options, whereas other players probably would have, you know, gone for the centre rather than trying to pot down into the bottom right-hand corner.
Anyway, he's still in control. He just has to create a good angle on the 7 ball after the 6 for the cue ball to travel up the table for the 8 ball. Slightly trickier pot with the cue ball by the side cushion, no problem. But he's about 3/4 ball on the 7 ball, so it's much more difficult for the cue ball to come up the table.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know Marco Teutscher, he's one of our first ever Predator sponsored professionals here in New Zealand. He plays certainly a lot of pool around the country as well as overseas. He won the US Open 10 ball in 2019, which was an absolute awesome effort.
Well, Marco not happy with the position of the white ball, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, be a little disappointed with that actually, Dean, because he has quite high expectations of you know, how he plays the game.
The thing about this shot is if you miss it, you probably leave it. That's why he's played the safety.
Yeah, Mark needs to sort of peg one back here, so he needs to either play a decent safety back or have a go at maybe the pot. But the thing is, he's going to be losing the white, so certainly a tough cut into the corner. Ideally, he would probably like to be bringing the 8 ball back down the table. White at the other end of the table. Okay, he's trying for the bank shot. They're never easy.
Yes, it was a tough position, wasn't it? So Mark was faced with very few alternatives there.
Yeah, I think he sort of was in two minds really, because he was sort of forced himself into going for it, whereas maybe the safety shot would have been the better option. And this is the difference between, you know, winning a frame here and a frame there, is just that one bad shot. And against an opponent of Marco's stature, you certainly can't afford to make any bad or rash shots.
Marco extends his lead 5 frames to 1.
Yeah, for those of you that are out there that enjoy watching Q Sports, or or you'd like to get involved in Q Sports, we've got 4 Massé headquarters. We've got one in New Lynn, one in Glen Eden. We've got our head office here in Hamilton, and we've also got another one, Dean, down in
Pukekohe.
Sorry, we have two. We've got one in Pukekohe and one down in New Plymouth.
Yes, of course, yes. So there's a range of options in the North Island.
Yes, so get down and support your local Massé if you're into Q Sports.
Must make a good break shot. He's missed the one for the centre.
Yeah, Mark needs to really sort of start to step it up a little bit here. We can't have, if Marco gets away on him, it's certainly going to be a tough road to hoe.
Well, the one ball cuts for the right corner pocket. He's just got to control the cue ball for the 2, perhaps into the centre pocket. I think he'll have to screw into another ball here, the 7 ball perhaps.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dean. Yeah, he's just got to avoid the traffic on the bottom end of the table there. I mean, if he does cannon into one of these other balls, it's sort of a bit of a lottery where the white's going to end up. But if he can cannon into the 7 full ball, he's certainly going to have a good chance of getting on that too.
That's what he's played, but he's lost the white ball a little bit. That makes the 2 in the centre slightly difficult. 6 ball there to make it a large pocket.
Okay, he's looking at it. He's just giving himself an option here. He's just going to probably run this in. I mean, the pocket's quite a big pocket with a 6 hanging over the bucket like that. So he can just run this in nicely. He could possibly come off the 6. He'd be looking just to come off the rail, you know, half a foot. Okay, he's still got a relatively hard shot on the 3 here. He's also got a little bit of traffic to avoid. I mean, if he looks to pot the 3 into the left-hand corner, he's got to avoid cannoning into the 5 ball. I think he can get around the back, but he's also, has he got an option? Can he pot that for where the 7 ball is, Dean, or has he got to come on the other side of that ball?
Well, I think your first call was correct. He's got to avoid the 5 ball unless the cue ball just nudges past it and leaves the 4 to the left corner. So there's 2 ways of playing this shot. Not an easy positional shot, I must say.
Certainly giving it a lot of thought.
So he has avoided the 5 ball. Where's the cue ball going?
He's coming down a little bit too low on that. I still think he's got a shot at it. He can certainly cut it back into the corner. He could just run this through, or he could get into it and try and screw off the 4 and come back down the table for the 5 ball. Certainly not an easy cut.
Doesn't like it, does he? Cue ball come too far.
I don't blame him.
It's a tricky cut. Positional side is equally as difficult. Well played.
He's played that with a little bit of check, and that's straightened up nicely off that top rail. He's certainly, when he's had the opportunities, Dean, he's certainly taken them by the ball by the horns.
Yes, I think so. He's developed into an international player over the last couple of years, be it 2020 is a bit of a wipeout, but I'm sure he'll be back on the international circuit again before too long. Eight ball for the left corner pocket, and screw the white ball back for the same pocket. Well played from Marco Teutscher as he extends his lead to 6 frames to 1. Chiu from Taiwan on the right of your screen there, living in New Zealand now, as is Marco. So he's faced the brunt of the COVID-19 epidemic in Europe from the Netherlands, of course. So his family is there, hasn't seen them for a long time. So I'm sure he's looking forward to getting back there again next year. Marco Teutscher to break. It's looking for a re-rack from Jimmy. Very important these balls are placed correctly. Every ball in the rack should be touching. So you can see Marco wind up into the shot. Okay, they play for the one ball into the left centre pocket here. It's a big power shot.
He's very consistent with his break, isn't he, Dean? You know, how many times has he got that one in the middle?
Just about every time.
He's been a little unfortunate with this one, but I still think he's got it. He can still see the two, but I don't think he can pot it. Certainly not an easy shot to get position for the 3 if he can. He may look at just pushing out. He's just sort of looking now where he's going to put the white ball. Make it hard for Mark to either pot the ball or get position on the 3 after potting the ball. Okay, so he's played the push out, and he's basically left Mark a shot on the 2, but not an easy shot to pot the 2 to get position on the 3. So Mark will possibly be looking to play safety back here, or he could send Marco back in to play the shot. But I think he's going to take the shot on. There's a possible 2-9 plant there, but I don't think he can see past the 7, so he won't be taking that on if the nine's certainly not on into that corner, but it's certainly a possibility. Just having a look at it. I think ideally here, Dean, he'd be looking to hit the ball maybe just off half and leave the white at the top end of the table down here and send the 2 back up the table, down by the 6 and the 3.
I think that's the right play, is to play safe from this position. That's what he's done.
Okay, he's clipped off it, and he's played that well. He would have been a little more fortunate if he got him behind that 6, but he hasn't done that, so he's left Marco a shot at the 2, but not a potting shot.
Yes, it's very difficult to get these balls safe once the object ball is so close to a cushion, so not an easy shot for Marco. But he's played the side to side. Always leaves himself open for a counter safety shot.
Yeah, well, there's not really a shot on for position to get on the 3 here, so Mark will probably just be looking to play another safety, unless he can maybe bank that 2 and screw off it and come up for the 3, but that's not an easy shot at all. I think he'll just be looking for a good safety here.
Well, he'll be a bit disappointed with that. He's going to be in trouble in a minute.
Yeah, I think if you're going to play those sort of shots, Dean, you've got to make sure you get your white ball where you want it to cover the ball. You know, there's certainly a good opportunity there for him to make a snooker, but he's unfortunately hasn't achieved it.
And the 2 balls nowhere near the top cushion, so this makes it a lot easier for Marco.
Yeah, I think he's just looking just to come off it and play safe. Okay, we've got a little bit of a cat and mouse game going on here.
Well, that's good. It reminds me of snooker, Tony.
Yes. Yes, I just watched a match recently. Neil Robinson was playing one of the Chinese boys, and the first frame, I mean, you'd think they'd never played snooker before, but because neither of them were potting a ball, but it was because they were playing safety all the time. And that's certainly a big part of the game, Dean, isn't it?
Well, I think that element exists in 9-ball as well. So, as we're referring to earlier, it's more of a snooker player's pool game than 8-ball or any of the other varietals.
Okay. Yeah, I think he was a little unfortunate there to catch that jaw, but he certainly had, well, he hasn't left really a Marco shot on, but there was a possibility of a good snooker here.
I think that's a good shot. I would have played that shot myself if I was out there. Side to side snooker. The important, I mean, it's not too difficult hitting the 2-ball. The thing is to leave it safe afterwards.
Has he got safe, Dean, or has he got a shot on?
I think the only way is off the bulk cushion where he's aiming, just to the right of the 8-ball. Just behind the 8-ball there. Try and push the 2-ball up the table.
Yeah, he sort of like hit it as hard as he could and hoped for the best there. And unfortunately, he's come up very unlucky. Yeah, and that's another thing with, I think, from the professionals to the amateurs too, is that at least the professional knows where the white ball's going as opposed to the amateur that sort of has a go at it and hopes for the best.
Looks like he's playing this with right hand check side off one cushion, back down the table. Perfectly on the 3.
He's certainly got the pace of this table sorted. He's very calculated in what he does at the table, and it certainly shows in his game. Yeah, he'll just soft screw off this and try and just get that natural angle to come down for the 7. No, sorry, for the play the 6 to come down for the 7. Okay, he's not in an ideal position, but because he just is just off straight D, he can play top of the rail and come back down for the 7.
Well, I think that's what he's looking at. Yes, ideally he would have preferred more angle on the 6 ball to stun round the table. He's probably just playing at one cushion, a little bit of top spin. He's played it 2, he's put some stun on the cue ball, and that's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, he plays that shot well, Dean. He's always seems to get on the right side of the ball when he plays that shot. He'll be looking to do the same thing, stun off this, come off maybe 2-3 rails and come up and behind the 9 and pot it into the top right-hand corner.
Well, it's a bit like a trademark shot for Marco, isn't it? Stun off 2 cushions. 8 ball in the left corner.
Okay, he's played that beautifully. Yeah, that seems to be a trademark shot, you're right. He likes to use the 2 rail shot quite often, and it seems to work for him quite well.
I just think it's easier, you know, speaking from a snooker player's point of view, easier to control the white ball with pace if you come off 2 cushions. For some reason, it just seems to be a little bit easier. Same shot again.
Yeah, a bit of deja vu.
He's putting Marco into a very commanding position in this match, leading 7 frames to 1.
Yes, it's not the start Chiu would have wanted to get Marco to get into. Certainly got a lot of searching to do here for Mark if he wants to come back into this match. He certainly needs to, you know, win the next 2 or 3 frames, Dean, to have any sort of shot coming back into this match.
Well, I think he's just been outplayed. You know, as simple as that. He's been outpotted, he's been outmaneuvered. Marco's positional play has, again, been exemplary. So, you know, Marco deserves the 7-1 lead. There's no question about that.
Yeah, it's Mark to break. He needs a good break here. Good solid break. Pot the 1, end up nicely on the 2. That's what he'll be looking for. Okay, he's got the 1 in the middle. Has he got nicely on the 2? I think he's got a shot on the 2. So, yes, he's nicely on the 2. Okay, he just needs to hold it all together here. 1 ball at a time. Okay, it's not an easy shot, but he's certainly got a shot at it, I'm sure.
Mark's looking at it, but it's a thin cut, so that means the cue ball is going to travel after contact with the object ball. Much harder to control the white ball.
Yeah, I think he's had a look at it, Dean, and he's not happy with it, so he's going for safety.
Doesn't want to go in off.
No, he's certainly very close to going in off, but he's certainly played an okay shot. You know, distance is his friend here.
Yes, he's come up with a good shot in the end, has Mark, so the reply has to be equally as good.
Yeah, I think because Marco does hold such a substantial lead, Dean, it sort of gives him a little bit more confidence, and maybe he can afford to have a go sometimes. Maybe shots that he maybe wouldn't go at if he was sort of behind.
Well, I think if you're a front runner, you just have to stay in control. So that's the way how the great players win. They're front runners. They establish an early lead, and they capitalise on it.
Okay, he's tried to play safety there, and he's ended up drawing the middle pocket, and I think he may have left Mark a shot at the 2 here. Mark's just looking at the positional side of the shot. Yes, if there was ever a time for Mark to go, this is it. Can't really afford to give Marco any more chances. He's given probably one or too many chances, too many as it is.
No doubt Mark's under the cosh here a bit.
Okay, he's come out for that quite nicely. He'll just look to run this 3 in, come off the top rail and back down for the 4.
Well, the 3-ball pot is not much of a problem. It's positioning the white for the 4-ball.
He doesn't have to do a hell of a lot here, Daniel. He's just got to keep control of that white. So he's, you know, good weight. Comes sort of anywhere up into the middle of the table is going to be fine.
Just bridging over the 8-ball makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, see, to me that shot, he's just played it just that little bit too hard. I don't think he had to play it quite that hard. Because he played it that hard, it sort of come off the top rail a little different than it normally would. Okay, but he may be okay here. But he's still got to screw off this and get position on the 5s.
Well, I think the shot is to deep screw it off the right hand side cushion above the 8-ball and come out for the 5. That's what he's played. He's done it very well.
He plays that shot very well, Dean. It's probably one of his signature shots, actually. When I see him practicing, I see him playing that shot quite a bit. So yeah, certainly not scared to have a go. Played that nicely, or just a nice little run into the top corner there. Nothing silly. Played that well.
Needs to screw back for the 9-ball in the centre pocket as you see it. So good control required.
He's played that well. In goes the 9. Yeah, he managed to hold that frame together there, Dean. You know, it's certainly give him a little bit more confidence now that he's got another frame under his belt.
Well, 9 frames played, and there's going to be an interval after 12 frames, so very important for Mark to re-establish himself in this match.
Yeah, for those of you that are watching out there, we'll be having a 10-minute break, so just get yourselves a cup of tea and a Vicky and get ready for the second half of this great match. Okay, Marco's just looking to make sure that every ball's touching. He's very fickle about that. He likes to have every single ball touching in that pack, and if it's not touching, he's not happy. Goes the one ball into the centre pocket once again. Okay, he hasn't ended up that nice on the 2, but at least he's still got a shot on the 2. He'll either looking for a bank shot or he'll look to play safe. Yeah, I think I'll probably just clip off this 2 and end up coming down to the top end of the table.
In fact, he's got the snooker, so Mark has to be very careful that he hits the 2 ball here.
Now, I haven't seen the jump cue used tonight, Ding. Normally it comes out quite a lot when snooker's are being played, but this is the first time I've seen the jump cue tonight. With those of you that aren't familiar with the jump cue, it's a shorter and lighter cue used for jumping the white ball over object balls.
Well, is he playing the bank shot?
No, he's not playing the jump shot. I do apologise.
He's posted it.
Beautiful.
Unbelievable.
Yes, certainly unexpected, but he's played that well.
And I think he's got a shot through to the 3 ball. Certainly looks like it.
Yeah, he's ended up quite straight on it though, but yeah, as long as he can cue straight, he'll screw back off this. Doesn't want to play top because he'll probably go off, so just looking to screw off this and end up on the 4. He might be just off straight.
I think this next shot perhaps is a 4 onto the 5 ball combination.
Needs to slow down.
Shot.
Needs to slow down. Yes. Okay. I think he's got a shot on here.
Looks pretty good.
Well, I think Mark's finally got himself into a position where he's actually giving himself a chance to make up this deficit then. So he's just got to hold it together here.
Yes, it's an important positional shot. It's 4 ball onto the 6. It would give him a good option to run out.
Yeah, he's played that well. He's come high on the 6 into the bottom right-hand corner. You'd be looking just to come off this with a slight bit of check side to sort of come down for the 7.
He played that with check side, as you said, and a bit of top spin, which helped prime position.
Played that nicely. Right into the corner. Well done, Mark Chiu. Well, he's sort of bringing himself back into the match. He's managed to win 2 in a row, so that'll certainly do his confidence a world of good, Dean.
Absolutely, and there's 2 more frames before the interval, so it's important that he keeps his run going.
For those of you that are watching, we're using Predator Arcos 2 balls. We're using a Simonis 860 cloth, and the table is a Brunswick Gold Crown 5. So the conditions for this match are excellent, of international standard. And our venue tonight is Massé, Hamilton, Ross Trevor Street, for you people that don't know where it is. That's our main office, our head office.
Is that M-A-S-S-E?
M-A-S-S-E. Well done, Dean.
Got it. Important break for Mark. He's made the 1. That was crucial.
Oh, and he's also got good position on the 2 here, Dean, so this is certainly another opportunity for Mark to come back in this match.
I think it's a good angle on the 2 ball to come back down the table for the 3.
Yeah, it's an interesting game, 9 ball. You can never really ever count yourself out of the match. You know, things can happen at the turn of a dime. You just don't know from one frame to the next. And I think, you know, the key is if you get that momentum going, it certainly holds you in good stead for the match.
Once again, a good angle for Mark to bring the cue ball up for the 4 ball in the right corner pocket.
Okay, he's just got to stay composed here. He's not in any hurry. He's played that well, Dean. He's got on the right side of the 4 here to get up for the 5. It's just about where he wanted to be.
Well, he's played that very well.
Yeah, you just run this through nicely, come back across to the opposite rail. Give yourself a good enough angle to get out for the black. Yeah, he doesn't want to end up on the wrong side of the 7. It just makes it that little more difficult to get position. If he can give himself a nice little angle to come out for the black, that's certainly where he wants to be.
Yes, I think you're right. I think he wants to play the 8 ball for the same pocket he's playing the 7. That's not a perfect angle, I must say.
No. Just sort of limits his options to what he can do with it.
Well, if it's straight, you know, the cue ball goes forwards or backwards.
That's right. He could possibly cheat the pocket just a little bit here, Dean.
I think that's what he's going to try and do and put left-hand side on the cue ball. He's played it pretty well.
Marco will certainly be thinking to himself, hang on a minute, I had control of this match, and now Mark's making us a mini comeback. I certainly don't want him at the table. But what can I do when I'm sitting in my seat?
You can't do much. Just compose yourself.
Well, that certainly changed the scoreline a wee bit, Dean, from 7-1 to 7-4.
It's a great effort from Mark. He's really, getting hammered basically by Marco, as one would expect. But he's It's a great effort to win 3 on the spin there.
Yeah.
One frame before the interval. I think this is a very, very crucial and important frame, Tony.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, no, I think with the fact that Mark's taken 3 frames in a row there, it's certainly going to do his confidence the world of good, because he was certainly looking down the barrel. Okay, we've got Marco to break. Marco will be thinking, hang on a minute, I was 7-1 up. Now it's 7-4. I need to get this frame to make it an 8-4 deficit. So yeah, so he's making sure that every ball on that pack is touching. If it's not, he's not happy, and rightly so.
Well, it has to be right, and it has to be exactly the same for both players. Here goes Marco. Crucial break-off.
Okay, once again, he's potted that one ball in the centre. Okay, he's unfortunately here, he's snookered himself on the 3 ball. Mark will sort of be looking at the table here and going, hang on a minute, I've got a chance here. Okay, because he can't see the 3 and he really can't control the white, if he decides to try and hit the 3, he'll probably look for a push out and to leave that white ball in such a position where it's a lot harder for Mark to pot the ball. But then having said that, Mark can certainly send him back into play again if he's not happy with the lie. So Marco's got a lot to think about here, Dean.
Yes, he has, and probably could count himself slightly unlucky for being snookered on the 3 ball. Could have been a run out for Marco, but it's not.
Yes, and this is a sort of a time where Marco has to compose himself. Okay, sure, he hasn't got himself on the 3, but what can I do to put the ball in such a position that I'm going to gain control of the table again?
So just remind me, Tony, does the cue ball have to hit a cushion on a push-out shot?
Not at all, not at all.
It's just purely a tactical safety shot.
Correct. It's the only time in the game that you can actually play a push out is off the break. No other time can you push the ball out.
And if Mark doesn't like it, he could put Marco back in, but he's electing to play from this position. Side to side, how does that look?
He's actually played that quite well, Dean. Certainly given himself a chance here. You know, he's put Marco on the back foot for once in the match. And if Mark can take this frame out, it's certainly going to give Marco a lot to think about in the interval.
I think this is quite an important shot, and Marco's coming around to look to hit off the bulk cushion and right back up the table to hit the 3 ball. He's probably got really no idea where the ball's going to end up.
Yes, this is certainly a shot for the gods. Okay, he's hit the 3 ball, Dean, but he hasn't left it in such a position where Mark can't sink it. So you know, it was never an easy shot, but it's certainly given Mark another opportunity to come to the table and take another frame.
I think the thing was either you hit it thinner and the cue ball goes back down the table, or you hit the 3 ball thick and push that ball down the table, but it's ended up betwixt and between.
Okay, Mark will just want to compose himself here. He needs to get good position on that 5 ball. on the 4 ball.
He's got a great chance to get back into this match, has Mark. Huffing and puffing a bit.
Yes, well, he's certainly got a lot to huff and puff about. He's 7 to 4 frames down. So he's just got to hold it together. I mean, The 5's in an excellent position. I think what he'd be good to do here, Dean, maybe just a soft screw it off the 4, maybe trying to do too much and snooking himself on that.
Well, I think that, you've made the right call. Don't snook yourself on the 5 ball, which is by the right-hand corner pocket. That is the most important thing.
Okay, he can play this 2 ways. He could use the rail first, and that'll give him the angle that he needs to slightly come out for the 5. Yeah, he's just got to be careful that he just doesn't try to do too much here, Dean.
I wouldn't mind doing very little with the white ball and just sort of getting it back past where it is and playing a cut on the 5. Let's see what he does. Could work out. Oh, he's just past the 7.
There's
He's
certainly
pretty
a
good.
danger. There's certainly a danger though when you play that shot like he played it, but he's ended up quite well, so we won't knock him for that.
Good transition, 5 to the 6.
Well, I think Marco's in very unfamiliar territory here, Dean. He's not used to not being at the table for more than 1 or 2 frames.
Well, it's not over yet, but Mark has got this frame in his command. He's looking good at the table.
He's certainly focused.
Just deep screw a little bit. We'll stun off the side. That looks good. Marco with something to think about.
Yeah, I've sort of never seen that look from Marco before, but certainly thinking about something. Mark's played that nicely. Good position on the 9.
Perfect cue ball control.
This
This is
9.
for 4 frames in a row, Tony.
Wow, and this is to make it a 7-5 deficit, which is certainly a lot better than 7-1. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a 10-minute interval, so go and get yourselves a cup of tea or coffee and a bicky or a scone, and we'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. Thanks very much.
Well, that's to the spice of it. I like the SP2 because, one, the wrap goes all the way down. The design is elegant. It's not too much, it's not too little. You know, color scheme looks really nice. And then the 12.9 Revo just fits on there perfect. So to actually go through the process and see how every shaft is made and how they can tweak it this way or tweak it that way, so the process is incredible, and just being able to understand it and have trust that it's made the right way, and you know, it's formed this way every single time when you need it. It's like having a little coach on your shoulder while you're playing.
Well, adds to the spice of it.
I like the SP2 because, one, the wrap goes all the way down. The design is elegant. It's not too much, it's not too little. You know, color scheme looks really nice. And then the 12.9 Revo just fits on there perfect. So to actually go through the process and see how every shaft is made and how they can tweak it this way or tweak it that way, so the process is incredible, and just being able to understand it and have trust that it's made the right way, and you know it's formed this way every single time when you need it. It's like having a little coach on your shoulder while you're playing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to our Sunday Night Shootout finals. We have Marco Teutscher and Mark Chiu. Marco is leading 7 frames to 5. So this has actually turned out to be an absolute awesome match. Mark was 7-1 down and he's come back to a 7-5 deficit. So that's absolutely excellent from Mark's point of view. He's certainly got the momentum. He's won 4 frames in a row. So your thoughts on the game, Dean? You know, where's it heading at this stage?
Well, I just think it's, you know, this is a crucial frame. Whoever wins this frame could
Okay, Mark Chiu to break. He's just checking to make sure that all the balls are touching on the magic rack. Okay, Mark was 7-1 down. He's come back to a 7-5 deficit. Certainly his confidence will be building now. He's certainly back in the match.
Yes, as I was saying, I think whoever wins this frame, it's a very important point in the match.
Okay, Mark Chiu to break. Okay, he's potted the 1 and the 2 ball. He's ended up nicely on the 4 ball. Or has he? I don't think he has. Yeah, very similar break to Marco's last break, where Marco was just off the 4. So if the 4's not on, he'll be certainly looking to play a safety. Now he's got a good chance of putting the white in behind the 9 ball here. Just having a look at it.
Sorry, had a technical issue there, but back to the table, and that's a good shot from Mark.
Yeah, it certainly left a bit of distance from between the white and the 4 there. I think he is slightly snookered on the 4 ball. I think he can catch an edge of it.
Well, Marco was playing a 8-ball tournament earlier today, and I'm just wondering if he's feeling the heat of all-day competition.
Yeah, certainly takes it out of you, Dean, when you're certainly playing, if you've been playing all day and then you have to sort of come and play a final of this calibre. Yeah, it's certainly hard to hold the momentum when you're feeling a bit tired and, you know, and a bit lethargic.
Well, the most important match is this one.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, he's just looking at it. He's just looking where he's going to leave the white ball. So he just wants to just clip off this 4 just slightly. Maybe the 4 running behind the 6.
He's jumping the ball though, isn't he, over the 9?
Yes, no, he is jumping the ball, yes. So he must be snookered on the 9 ball. Okay, that's probably our first jump shot that we've seen tonight, Dean. So basically what that means is if you're snookered on your ball, you can jump over the object ball to hit your ball.
Not an easy shot for Mark, but if he runs this in, he would be on the 5 ball for the right corner as you see it. I think his problem is, for Mark, is to get position on the 7 ball in such a way. 5 is no problem. Good angle on the 6 to get onto the 7.
Correct. Yeah. With the game of 9 ball, it's a rotation game, so you must hit the lowest ball first. If you hit the lowest ball on the table and the 9 goes in, you instantly win the game. 9 ball break. The 9 off the break wins the game, but ideally you pot the balls in sequence, so 1 to 9.
And just looking to possibly plant the 7 onto the 8 ball. Anyway, that's a couple of 3 shots ahead.
Yes, Mark's certainly finding his way back into this match, Dean. You know, he's certainly a lot different player than what he was at the start, but having said that, Marco didn't make any unforced errors in the first, 5 or 6 frames.
Right, important shot. Does the 7 pass the 8 ball into the left corner pocket?
No, I think you've called it right, Dean. I think he's certainly going to play the plant here. He's going to have another look at it, but I think you're right. I mean, if it is on, it's on off the jaw.
So, very important shot for Mark.
Yes, this game could certainly change the whole context of the match. He doesn't want this to go in. He's played that well. He certainly called the plant earlier, Dean, and that's what he's gone for, and he's played it well.
Screw back off the side cushion, 9 ball for the opposite corner pocket.
Okay, he's just underhit that slightly, but I think he's still okay.
Yes, needs a good pot. I think you should play it with a little bit of pace. Cue ball comes naturally across the table, nowhere near the centre pockets. Perfectly played.
Yeah, well, I don't think this will be going according to plan for Marco. I think he had other ideas, but Mark Chiu has other ideas as well. So certainly an interesting time in the game, Dean.
Well, once Marco makes a good break and gets his rhythm going again, he is a hard man to stop. Let's see what happens here. Very important for him to get a good break off, because he has lost the initiative in the match.
Yeah, I think Mark Chiu has certainly had a better break in the last five racks, where his break, he's actually ended up on a ball, and it's given him the opportunity to make the clearance. Okay, we've got Marco Teutscher to break.
Well, every frame is important, obviously. This is a very important one. 7 each or a 2-frame gap.
Okay, he didn't pot the one in the middle, but it caught the jaw and it ended up in the bottom left-hand corner. But I think he's got a shot on the 2 here, Dean.
He certainly has, and the cue ball could come across the table back towards its position now for the 3 ball into the corner pocket.
It's certainly it put a little bit of pressure on him now, because, you know, at 7-1 there was sort of no pressure on him, Dean, but now that, you know, at 7-6 it sort of changed the context of the game a wee bit, so it's certainly given him something to think about. And sometimes when you're overthinking it, you can miss that easy shot without even, you know.
Well, I think the pressure's reversed. It's come straight back onto Marco. And there's a perfect sign of that. He's missed a very makeable 2 ball.
Yeah, well, like I told Mark at the start of this match, I said to him, if you just put a little bit of pressure on Marco, I think, you know, things he misses just like everyone else. So you just have to keep putting your foot on the throat and just holding on to the match and not make silly mistakes. And he's done that. He's forced Marco into an error. Okay, he'd be looking. He's got to be careful here, Dan, because if he cuts this 2 and he hits the 6, he could possibly go in off in the bottom right-hand corner. So he's got to be careful with this.
Didn't make the 2 ball, but does it pass the 8 ball into the corner pocket? I don't think so from Marco's body language there, shall we say.
He doesn't look happy.
No, I wouldn't be after losing 5 straight frames.
Yeah, it's a funny old game. Sometimes you think the whole world's against you, Dean, all of a sudden, you know. It doesn't matter what you do, you can't seem to do anything right.
Well, I just think this is, you know, the mental part of a game. So, you know, Marco, as I said, the pressure has reversed. So he has to play his way out. He's got to think his way out and play his way out of this bad run of play that he's suffered in the last 5 frames.
Yeah, it's certainly not a place that he's used to. He normally dominates most matches. But it's good to see Mark giving him a run for his money. Yeah, even the safeties, he's lacking on the safety. See, normally that would be tucked in behind the 8, but he's unfortunately he's played that a little bit too hard, and that's why, like Dean just said earlier, sometimes the pressure gets to you and things start to fall apart.
Well, let's see what happens. You know, there's a long way to go in this match. Every frame is very important now. This middle part of the match, Mark could get right back into it.
He's played that well. Yeah, I think the advantage that Marco Teutscher has over the rest of the players is that he can handle that pressure. I've seen him under pressure in big matches, and he really does handle the pressure quite well. But this is another match, another day, so yeah.
Marco finally taking his jumper off. Look, he's played a lot of pool today, and I just really, you know, I cannot agree with his decision of playing 8-ball tournaments prior to playing this final today.
Yeah, I actually agree with you there, Dean. I think even though it's queuing's queuing, at the end of the day, this is the big match of the day for Marco. So Marco should have put all his emphasis on this match. Okay, he's had a long day of 8-ball. Okay, he's won it, sure, and he's played well to win it. But having said that, maybe fatigue set in just a little bit.
Well, it takes its toll. Great cut from Marco, though. He's going to need a very good pot on the 3-ball. Now, Marco, it's up to you.
Okay, he's looking at the cut in the middle, and I think he's looking at the cut in the middle because he doesn't want to end up too far away from the 4. So I think he's looking to cut it to come back down the table for the 4.
Do you think that 8-ball will come into play, or can he avoid that, Tony?
I think he might avoid it with if he cuts this fine.
He's done exactly what you said.
Okay, we're putting a little bit of cheek on this just to straighten this up just slightly. Okay, he didn't really want the kiss on the 9. I think he wasn't planning on the kiss on the 9, but because he's played that bit of side, Dean, I think he got a bit of spread on the white ball. And it's ended up canning into the 9. But having said that, he'd probably be looking at a safety here because he's going to be moving away from the 6 ball. So if he cuts this, he's got to play it at double speed if he wants to have any chance of getting the white ball back up for the 6. But I think more than likely he'll be looking for a snooker here, Dean.
If you can play the snooker, you definitely play it. It's a difficult cut. He might go for it, but the cue ball's going to go up and down the table all over the place. That's a problem. Positional side of the shot.
Yeah, he lifted on the shot there too, Dean. I don't think he was 100% confident with that shot. I think the snooker would have been the better option.
But there's so much concentration that has to go into the positional side of the shot that it takes your mind off the pot a little bit. So that's always a problem in snooker and in 9-ball. Great opportunity for Mark Chiu to level this match.
He's ended up a little straight on the 16, so but I think he's got a slight angle. He can just stun off the 6 to pop the 8 into the opposite corner.
Yeah, I think it's a heavy stun, no cushions. That's what I'd play.
Yeah, just a nice little 8 into the... He want to screw back off this slide. He want to end up back down the table, Dean. He doesn't want to give himself too much of an angle here.
It's a 1 cushion shot.
He's played that well. This 9 to make it 7 each.
Wow, an amazing performance from Mark Chiu to come back into this match. He's won 6 frames on the spin. And the match is tied up at 7 frames each. Tony, what can you say?
Well, I don't know what to say. I'm pretty sure Marco's thinking to himself, hang on a minute, I was 7-1 up here half an hour ago. What's going on here? Now it's 7-all. So, yeah, certainly give him something to think about.
Well, I saw Mark Chiu in the interval a few frames ago, and he sounded a bit surprised, but he sounded good as well. So I said to him that, you know, the next frame after the interval is a very, very important frame. And he's really responded.
He's a different player out there today. All right, we've got Mark Chiu to break.
Well, that's a good break from Mark. Pocketed the one ball in the centre pocket. The problem is, I don't think it's a problem pocketing the combination shot 2 ball onto the 7, but 3 and 9 ball is difficult. I think our referee, Jimmy Henry, will have a very, very close look at this next shot, as is Marco Teutscher. This must make contact with the 3 ball first. Well, it looks like it goes to the centre pocket, but as I said, he must make contact with the 3 ball first and not simultaneously with the 9 ball. He could play a double bank shot. I think he's playing the cut. Well, missed it, but there you are. Millimetres, I suppose. Right, Marco, this is quite an important situation for him. He's been blocked out of the match for the last 6 frames. Must get a good pot here.
He's a little hampered by the black ball, but he's just got to run this through nicely.
Well, that's well played. Would have liked to have been straighter, I'm sure. Tony, just play the one cushion, screw off the side cushion.
Yeah, I think he's just got to keep this, just keep control of the white ball, not try to do too much. I mean, he's only really got one shot here. He's got to try and stun off it to get position on it so he can pot it into the centre. Otherwise, he's got to come down the top of the table to try and get position into another ball. But he might play this twice across the rail, 2 rail.
I think that's what he's doing. But as you say, cue ball control is absolutely crucial.
Yeah, I think he's okay. He'd be looking to stun off the side rail and come back across for the 8 ball into the bottom right-hand corner. Ideally, he would have liked to have ended up a little bit higher, but he's still okay. Wow, that certainly wiped its feet.
Well, Marco Teutscher stops the rot, as it were, and re-establishes a 1-frame lead at 8 frames to 7.
Yeah, well, that's certainly a frame that he's been looking for the last 7 frames, Dean. Do you think that'll help his confidence a wee bit, or put another context on the game? What's your thoughts?
Well, winning a frame always increases a player's confidence. So yes, I just think he's got to get him, re-establish his authority on the match, which he had for the first 7 or 8 frames. If he gets his break right here and has a run out or has a good frame, then I think his confidence will come flowing back.
Okay, Marco to break. You're looking for the 1 in the centre. He's done just that. Okay, the white ball's going up the bottom end of the table. Oh, hang on a minute, where's the white going? No, he's okay. Okay, he hasn't got an easy shot on the 2 here, but he'll probably just be looking for a safety. He won't want to do anything silly. I mean, I don't think he'll be looking to cut it.
Nice side-to-side safety shot. Don't think he's quite got the snooker, however.
No, he just came a little bit shy of where he needed to be.
Good chance for Mark to put Marco under a bit of pressure, snooker him perhaps.
Okay, he's played a relatively good shot there, Dean, but he's certainly still given Mark an opportunity at this too, but not an easy opportunity.
Well, I think the thing he's looking at is the track of the cue ball after contacting the 2. Obviously, the cue ball is going towards the left corner pocket, but
Yeah, I think if he tries to just cut this in, Dean, he's looking at maybe scratching down the bottom right-hand corner. Certainly not an easy shot to play if you're going for the pot.
it's one of those shots you just see problems everywhere. So let's see what Mark comes up with. Thin cut perhaps for safety. Oh, he's done that.
Yeah, Marco's been a little bit shy of his snookers tonight. I don't know whether that's a confidence thing, or Dean, or what do you think? Just in the second half, I've noticed just a few little mistakes creeping in.
I think it's been a long day.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it is hard to keep that mental aptitude, you know, all day, especially if you've been playing in another tournament, and then you've got to play a big 9-ball match at the end of it. Maybe he's played his best match in his 8-ball. I don't know.
Anyone's game at the moment.
Okay, Mark's just sizing up where he's going to leave the white ball. Play that nicely into the corner. Okay, he's left himself a relatively hard shot here on the 3. But having said that, if he plays the cut, it's sending the white ball up to where the 4 ball is. So I think it's a good option. He's just got to back himself to get the pot.
Yes, they're difficult cut shots because you're playing into a blind pocket. What I mean is that you can't see the pocket when you're playing the shot. You're able, the cue ball's going away down the table.
You know he's played that well. Nicely on the right side of the 4. Now we look just to run this in, Dean and Cannon, into the 5, or do you think the white ball will run just past the 5?
Well, if you can control it with a bit of stun, I mean, that would be my shot. Let's see what it comes up with. I'd hit just below centre and stun it in.
Yeah, I think that's what he's playing. Yeah, he's played that nicely.
Must get a good angle on the 6 ball to travel back down the table for the 7.
Would it be almost better to run this through rather than screw it back?
I'm not sure what he'll play, but he doesn't want too much of an angle. I think he needs the tight cue ball control somewhere near where the 5 ball itself is.
Yeah, so if
now,
he stunned the
actually.
white ball here, if he stunned the white ball where the 5 ball is, he'd have an absolutely great angle to get up for the 7.
Yes, he'd need deep screw on the cue ball, but again, that would be quite a sensible shot. Looks like he's actually playing round the angles.
Yeah,
Doesn't want to be straight on this, I must say.
yeah, I don't think that was the right option. I think he was better off to play just the stun shot on the 5 and give himself a shot at the 6 with the angle.
Well, this is a very difficult positional shot.
Okay, he still can screw this thing because the 6 is not that far away from the pocket. So all he's really got to do here is just control the white ball with a decent amount of screw.
I would rather have played the other shot, but
Where's the white ball
cue
going?
ball going?
Oh,
Well,
he's been
that's the
very
problem, isn't it?
unfortunate. Yep. He's basically forcing the error when he gets out of position like that.
I think the other shot was the sensible one, to leave an angle on the 6 ball for the right corner and screw off 2 cushions. But this should be simple run out for Marco.
Yeah, Mark will be sitting in a seat thinking, hang on a minute, I had that frame and I've made a mistake. And I've let Marco back at the table. Marco Teutscher takes a 9-7 lead over Mark Chiu. This is our Massé Sunday Night Shootout final. I hope all of those out there that are watching this final tonight are enjoying our coverage. It's been an exciting match.
Yes, well, Marco's definitely having to work for his money here. He was racing off to an early lead, but Mark Chiu has made a great comeback, albeit the last frame he should have won. He's got the break. If he can make a good break and win this frame with a run out, he'd be well back into the match.
Mark to break. Okay, he's got the 6 off the break. He's ended up nicely on the 1. Now, the prize money for this event, for the winner of this event, the prize for first is $5,000. That's not a bad few hours work as far as I'm concerned. And the runner-up will get $1,000. So there's a big difference in prize money there, Dean. Do you think the money will be playing a part on the game, on the match at all?
Not really. I mean, I never, I played, internationally for over 20 years. I never really thought about the money. I thought about winning the match. That was the most important thing.
Okay, Mark's gone and jawed that one there. That's another unforced error. Yeah, I mean, just going back to your career, Dean, being a snooker player on the pro circuit, it's no easy feat. I mean, there's certainly expenses that go along with it.
Well, the prize money obviously is very good in snooker. So I was there for a couple of decades, the 80s and 90s till the early 2000s. These days, it's just taken off. It's gone ballistic. So we have Eurosport that cover most of the Pro Tour events. Is around about 28, 30 Pro Tour events a year. And Eurosport, it's all throughout the UK, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. They probably get, I don't know, audiences of 400 or 500 million for snooker tournaments these days.
Right, so hence the sponsorship for the snooker. Yeah.
Well, it's improved massively, and Barry Hearn is the CEO of World Snooker Tour, so he's done a great job, and he's got the TV companies on board.
Yeah, he seems to be right up there with the darts as well, Dean. He's all tied in with all of that as well. And also the other thing is I've noticed the Chinese have come on board as well with the snooker.
Big sport in China now, snooker is, and they've got some great players on the Pro Tour as well. So
as far as audiences go, they've got one of the biggest.
Yes, there's a great couple of Chinese players playing Pro Tour. Ding Xuanhui is probably the top of the crop, and he's an international legend from Beijing. Actually, he's from, and it's a bit of a rags to riches story, but he is certainly the top Chinese player. There's some new young players from China coming through. They have snooker academies in China.
Okay, we've got Marco here. He's on the 3 ball. He'll be looking to come off 2-3 rails to get on this 4 ball. Oh, he doesn't want to snooker himself behind the black. Oh, he just didn't play that. He needed to play that at double speed, Dean. He's just underplayed that slightly.
I suppose that's what happens when you sort of, you haven't won many frames lately, and then you get a couple of opportunities, and your cue ball control can go slightly awry.
Yeah, well, I think the next step in the 9-ball phase is to maybe get a few international players over here, Dean, and getting our top players playing a few of the international players, maybe from Australia to start with. Certainly lift the profile of the game, do you think?
Good idea.
Oh, he's played that beautifully.
That was a pretty good idea as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, I sort of follow a little bit of the Aussie stuff, Dean. I've had the pleasure of playing in a few of their big tournaments over there. They have one every year called the Big Guns. I don't know whether you've ever heard of it. They've got a player that comes from England every year. His name is Mick Hill, and he comes and plays in that event. He's a world champion in the 2-shot rules with a small white. and I had the pleasure of watching him play in that event. He ended up winning that event. He played a guy called Justin Sage, a young Australian player who's certainly making a name for himself in the Australian scene. Maybe he'd be one of the sort of players we could get over here to play our Marco Teutscher.
Well, I think international competition is the way to go. There's no doubt about that. Whether Marco stays in New Zealand or not is it's in the lap of the gods, isn't it?
Well, I think he's establishing himself here, Dean. You know, he's obviously from the Netherlands, and he's chosen New Zealand to be his home, and I think he's embraced it, and he's certainly a good addition to New Zealand pool. I can say that much for him.
It's great to have a player of international standing like Marco Teutscher residing in New Zealand. He establishes a 3-frame lead at 10 frames to 7.
Yeah, missed opportunities there for Mark. He certainly had a few chances there, and he's unfortunately made a few errors, unforced errors, and he's let Marco back in the match, Dean.
Yes, it's a dangerous thing to do with an opponent like Marco, so I'm sure our audience are enjoying it.
Jimmy Henry setting up the balls on our magic rack. Now Marco will come down and have a look at the pack to make sure that all the balls are touching. I'll let Jimmy know whether he's happy or not. No, he's happy. Yeah, to all my pool friends out there that have signed in to watch this awesome match, I hope you're all enjoying what we have to offer tonight, and yeah, we look to bring a few more matches in the near future, so stay tuned.
Two ball into the corner pocket. I think he can run or stun the cue ball back up the table for the 3 ball. Shouldn't be a problem.
He's not happy with something, Dean.
I think it's the 6 ball. He's got to avoid contact on the 6 ball. If he stuns off 2 cushions, he just should not make contact with that 6.
Oh, he's done exactly that. Yeah, but he was certainly looking at it, wasn't he?
Not happy.
Yeah, he's certainly coming up with a few unforced errors in this match. You know, very uncharacteristic of Marco. He's very polished in his, you know, and how he treats the game. He's a perfectionist, so you know he doesn't like to make mistakes. But maybe the fact that he played in an earlier tournament today, he'll probably be thinking about that, you know, later on during the week and thinking, hang on a minute, maybe I made a mistake and I should have put more emphasis on playing this match rather than playing in the 8 ball. Because it certainly does take it out of you.
Yes, very long days. You're talking about, you know, 10, 12 hours at least of competition. Important shot for Marco. Play that very well.
Yeah, you can sort of see it in his demeanour when he's focused. He just shows a different type of stature at the table when he's certainly got his mojo on.
Right, back in control, Marco.
Yeah, just look, just a soft stun here, Dean, and just similar shot, screw off the 7, give himself a reasonable angle to come back down for the 9.
Perfectly played. Cue ball will stun or screw straight up the table for the 8 ball.
Yeah, I think he would have preferred to be a little bit higher on that rather than where he is now, but he can still screw off it. He'll just play this with just plain ball top and just come out down off the bottom rail up for the 9.
Mark must be thinking about that last frame. Top spin, left hand running side. Great position.
Yes, just a few little unforced errors from Mark Chiu there, and has ended up with Marco coming back into contention in this match. We've got a captivated audience there tonight. We've got one of our old ambassadors of the game, Mr. Wayne Carey there in your picture, just below your screen there on the right-hand side. He is a very, very good billiards player and a very good ambassador for Q Sports here in New Zealand.
And a great commentator as well, so from what I've heard.
Yeah, he's not too bad, Dean.
Does a bit of radio stuff, doesn't he?
Apparently, yeah. Yeah, I've heard him a little bit on the radio, and you certainly know it's him.
Anyway, a great enthusiast for the Q Sports.
Yeah, if there's one thing about Mr. Carey, he's certainly enthusiastic. I'd like to thank Massé for the excellent venue here for this Sunday Night Shootout. Without Massé, this event would not take place. So, yeah, if you get a chance to come down and have a look at the venue here in Hamilton, certainly love to see you. Oh, we've had a change of commentary. I've got my good friend Mr. Michael Lumsden in to do a bit of commentary for the last end of this match. How's things panning out for you, Michael?
I know it's a pretty interesting match. You know, there's been some swings in it for sure, and yeah, seen a bit of frustration on both sides, bit of niggle. So
yeah, sure. Yeah, it's good to see that Mark's been competitive though in this match. I mean, he was 7-1 down, and for to make the comeback to 7 each, that's an absolute awesome effort under these circumstances.
yeah, that 6 ball that he went in off of seems to have been a bit of a turning point.
Yes, well, unfortunately, Dean and I were talking about that shot. Yeah, he played that. He didn't have to play the shot like he played it. All he had to do was pot the 6, give himself enough room to just play the 5 and come out for the 7.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, but he's chosen to go off 2-3 rails to get position on the 5 ball, which was just on the 6 ball, which was just like, to me, it was a no-brainer. Just to play that ball, yeah. So anyway, it's ended up with Mark losing that frame, and then Marco Teutscher's ended up getting the momentum back. So.
Yeah. And prior to that, Marco seemed a little bit out of sorts, pretty frustrated, which is not usual. He's usually pretty composed.
To be honest, Michael, I think him playing the 8 ball today. It's made for a very long day for him, and as you well know, this game is a very mental game, and it can take it out of you.
Wow.
And if you're playing 10, 12 hours of pool,
yeah,
it's certainly going to take it out of you. So to be honest, I would have put this, put more emphasis on just playing the 9 ball final tonight, and maybe let somebody else have a go at the 8 ball.
Yeah, that was a good kick shot by Mark, though.
Good kick shot by Mark.
Be pretty happy with that. It's kind of stuck the cue ball and left it down table.
Yeah, well, he can't afford to let Marco get another frame in front, because it's certainly a big hill to climb.
And there's not too many frames left.
No, well, this is a race to 15 format, so Mark Chiu certainly needs to win this next frame to keep himself in contention. Yeah, I was just talking earlier to Dean about maybe possibly getting some international players over here, Michael, to play in our events, you know, like...
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, maybe get Marco up against, you know, Australian #1 over there, you know, let's start with Australia.
Fair
Certainly
enough.
got some good players over there.
As soon as we can open our borders and stuff like that.
Yes.
Sure, all kinds of things will happen like that. So that was another great kick shot by Marco. So a bit of a safety battle developing here. And again.
It's a lovely shot by Mark.
Another great kick safety.
He's left that white ball hard on that top rail, Michael, so he's certainly made it a little bit harder for Marco to get to play a good shot here.
So I'd say Marco's going to have to chip off the side of the 3 and hopefully find a space behind one of the balls. Maybe the 9 and the 4 there.
Yeah, I think he's looking to do just that. Yeah, no, good call. Good call, Michael. There's a bit of cat and mouse going on here.
And again, this is another pretty classic 2-rail kick shot for Mark. Might be able to stick and leave Marco at the bottom of the table and kick that 3 up table. And you know, for once in the last few shots, it, you know, hasn't kicked safe this time. It's kicked in front of a pocket, so it's looking like a good chance for Marco.
Yeah, I don't think Marco's played like that much better. I just think Mark has given him a few more opportunities in the second stage of this match. He certainly made a good effort to come back to the 7-all, but yeah, just a few unforced errors there, Michael, that have just let Marco back into the match.
And as we all know, it doesn't take much in terms of mistakes, errors or otherwise, and Marco is on top of you.
Yeah, well, he's certainly he's our top probably player in New Zealand. He'd be our top professional player in New Zealand. Probably one of our only very few professional players in New Zealand. So we're certainly happy to have him. Okay, he's run that through just nicely for the 5.
Or is it, in comparison, you know, Mark also has a day job as an engineer. So he's got a vocation.
Absolutely. Whereas Marco's sort of, you know, semi-full time on the, you know, with the game, is he?
Yes. Yeah. So I'd say maybe 2/3 and a third professional.
Sure. And I think that's what you need to be doing. You need to be, you know, it needs to be your job, really, doesn't it? If you want to be competitive, certainly on the world stage, anyway. Yeah, I think in regards to where our players are here in New Zealand, I think we've got a good group of players that are up there, but we still have that gap in the middle, right? So we've got these players here, we've got a gap in the middle, and then we've got Marco. How do we fill that gap in the middle?
I think we're getting a good start on it by training the juniors the way we have. You know, these are our stars of the future. You know, getting them trained by the best people we have, taking them overseas and making sure they're seasoned in international tournaments means, you know, out of that group there might be 1 or 2 that stick with it, and maybe that becomes a career for them.
Absolutely. No, that's excellent. You know, certainly Massé have certainly come on board in regard to the junior development. Certainly, when I was playing the game, Michael, and I know when you were playing the game, we certainly didn't have those opportunities that the players have today. Certainly the younger ones. You know, I mean, I basically taught myself, and to be honest, I taught myself like lots of bad habits, and then it took me about 5 years to break them. But no, certainly the junior development that you've got going through Massé is certainly a good stepping stone for the game of the future, yeah.
Not much of a tester in this shot, but certainly an important 9-ball for Marco.
Yes,
All right.
it's certainly been...
Now we're just going to cut to some advertising for a minute and we'll be right back. All right, and we are back. Marco to break.
I'd like to thank Massé for this absolutely excellent venue.
And wow, monstrous break.
He seems to have that canny knack of being able to get on the on a ball after his break there, Michael. He did miss the one in the centre, but if he got the one in the centre, he was certainly on the 2-ball. He's looking at the plants. He's already eyeing up the plant, Michael. He's already there.
Still got to put the 1 and the 2 and get positioned for it.
Correct. But, you know, this is the calibre of the man. He's thinking 3 shots ahead already.
Yeah, I'm the same way, but I'd miss the 2 ball.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you, mate. Okay, now it's not ideal where he wants to be, but he plays the 2-rail shot really well. So what he'll do, Michael, is he'll look to screw off this with maybe a little bit of left-hand side, come off the 2 rails and end up perfectly in behind that 3, mate.
Yeah, he seems to be a long way away, and he's going to have to put some English on it to get it round those rails.
Michael, this is his signature shot right here, mate. You watch. Off 2 rails, in behind the 3.
Wow.
Oh, that's absolutely perfect.
And it's slowed down just right at that right moment.
It certainly did. And you couldn't have put it there if you tried, mate.
No. Sickening accuracy.
Okay. It's certainly, awesome that he's got on the 3-9 plant that he's got, but the next thing is making the 3-9 plant. And to be honest, professional players don't really like to play this shot all that often, but having seen that the 3 and the 9 are so close together, it certainly makes the odds of it going a lot better.
Players like myself, I'll just have a slash at this and see if I get lucky.
You're calling all pockets? Yeah.
That's why I love 9-ball.
Oh, see, it's never a guaranteed shot. So he certainly overcooked it.
Hasn't left anything straightforward for Mark here. So
Yeah, I think I'd be a little disappointed with that plant, actually, Michael. He would have, I think if he'd ended up off the rail, maybe another half a foot, it would have made that shot a lot easier.
yeah.
Okay, we've got Mark Chiu at the table. Okay, now he's got he's hampered slightly by the 6 ball, but he's certainly got a nice enough shot at it, and he'd be looking to cannon into the 4 and using the 4 as a break.
Yeah.
What he doesn't want to do is pot the 4.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's
Must have felt uncomfortable with the shot.
It's never easy when you're playing that close to a ball. So he's
And some fairly sizable distance in between the balls.
and the angle came into it as well. It wasn't an easy shot. Yeah, it's just those little errors there that are costing Mark, frames. Marco, he thrives on this sort of stuff. You give him an opportunity and he'll soak it up. Okay, he's got a nice little angle here just to come off the side rail with a touch of side to get on the 6 ball. He doesn't want to overplay it, but he's got 2 options here. He can come out and play it into the bottom left-hand corner, or he can just come out slightly and play it into the opposite corner. He's just chosen to come out and play it into the bottom left-hand corner.
No, it's a good shot. Just because he's got a real nice natural angle to drop onto the 7 now. That was well played.
Yes, that's one thing that I noticed about Marco is he always seems to get on the right side of the ball to transition to the next ball. So for those of you that are watching out there, it's all about where you put that white ball, and if you're on the right side of the ball, it just makes it that much easier. You just stun this across for the 7. He's got a nice little angle just to run through, 9 in the middle. I know he's going to do the 2 rail shot, which is what he prefers to play.
Oh, he didn't get a hold of that at all.
Yeah, I think he's okay there, but he certainly didn't quite get into it as much as he wanted. But he's okay. He'll just stun off this slightly just to avoid the middle pocket. Marco Teutscher taking a 13-7 lead. Our referee today is Jimmy Henry.
AKA the Professor.
Yeah, should we talk a little bit about Jimmy, Michael, in regards to what he does with the junior development?
Jimmy's been an excellent coach for our juniors for a long time, and yeah, we're lucky to have Jimmy as part of our development team. He's pretty selfless in the amount of time that he spends with our squad, and as well as coming down to Hamilton and doing some of the after-school coaching, stuff like that. So, you know, the up-and-coming players who maybe haven't reached that development squad level, he's helping everybody.
Yeah, I think it takes a special type of person too to be able to do that type of thing. You know, because you know, junior coaching's never an easy thing when you're teaching young kids that really they've sort of got a mind of their own, and they have a tendency to, you know, not to play up a wee bit, and, you know, and all that. So there's a lot you've got to deal with. But you know, he gives it his all, and I think it's, you know, he's made it, the sport certainly grow in New Zealand in regards to the junior coaching, and certainly look forward to having him around for a lot longer.
Absolutely. All right, mark to break. Actually, I think the break has been working for both these guys pretty well. Getting a minimum of a couple of balls off the break, every break.
Yeah, I think it's detriment to the balls and the cloth and the table. You know, and also the magic rack. I mean, obviously, when that magic rack's, you know, all the balls are touching, you certainly get a nice spread of the balls. It's just a matter of controlling that white ball and, you know, getting a good lie. So, you know, the conditions certainly help the cause. Okay, so he's slightly hampered here by the 3, but he'll be looking just to play this. He's got a little angle on this, so what's he going to do? Stun out? Pop the one in the corner, stun out for the 2?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky path from the 1 to the 2. I mean, potting the 1 seems relatively easy, but getting position for the 2.
Yes, no, you're right. He's sort of overcooked that just a wee bit. I mean, he's got a pot on here, but he's, you know, and he can use the 7 ball as a break, but it's not ideally where he wanted it.
I wonder if it sits up for him after he pots the 2, that he's got a 3-9 combination at the other end there.
Yeah, I did look at that, but I think that the 3 ball's a little bit too close to the 9 to make it a certainty. If the 3 was a little bit further away, I certainly have a better angle. But it certainly looks like it's possibly on. You'll certainly be looking at it because it's certainly an opportunity for him to take the frame.
It's got no pocket for the 3 ball, so he might as well have a go at it.
He's got to give himself a chance. So if he's definitely got a chance at this plant, he'll definitely go for it.
And there's not really a full-blown safety sitting there.
No, well, sometimes you just got to take the ball by the horns, Michael, and take the opportunities that you're presented with, you know, because you're only second-guessing yourself otherwise.
I mean, if he's feeling really adventurous, you might be able to carom the 3 ball off the 9 into the corner pocket past the 7. But, oof.
Well, he's absolutely...
He's had a real slap at it, and...
mucked that up.
It's all gone wrong.
It's gone wrong. So, yeah, I mean, it certainly wasn't what we were expecting. I mean, at least if he'd hit the 9, at least the 9 would be travelling. But, yeah, he's certainly given another opportunity away. And you can't afford to give this man at the table any opportunities. Okay, he's just off straight here, so he'll be looking to screw back off the side rail, come back for the 5. And he's on the right side of the 5 to get the angle to come down for the 7. I don't know what sort of tip he's using on his cue there, Michael. Have you got any idea?
Currently, Marco's playing with a G2 tip.
Okay, to those people out there that are sort of have no idea what you're talking about, can you sort of...
So it's a multi-layered leather tip, and I believe the company name is G2.
Right. So when you say multi-layered, it's laminated tip.
Yes.
Right. Okay, he's just off straight here on this 8. He'll be looking just to play either the 2-rail shot or just the 1 rail and screw up for the 9 into the centre. I think with the angle that he's got, he'll just stun it up for the 9 into the centre. Okay, well this will put Marco on the hill. Since the interval, Mark Chiu has not won a frame. But this 9 ball isn't in yet. Okay, Marco Teutscher takes the 14-7 lead.
So he'll be breaking potentially for the win.
Yeah, well, Mark was just sort of be sitting back in a seat thinking, hang on a minute, I was 7-1 down, and then it was 7-all, and I haven't won another frame. What have I done wrong?
Doesn't take much. It really doesn't.
Just one shot here and one shot there. That's all it takes. But he's put up a good fight. I think Marco's just had the momentum again, and just a few maybe unforced errors from Mark that sort of, you know, turn the scales a wee bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, each unforced error usually means the loss of frame.
When it comes to Marco, yes, that's right. So anyway, we've got Marco here to break. He's on the hill. He's breaking for the match.
All right, and I'm just going to jump out, pass back to our veteran commentator, Dean O'Kane. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks very much, mate.
Well, thanks, Michael. And let's come back to the commentary chair. Marco has missed the 1 ball off the break and left it for Mark.
Yeah, Dean, I was just saying to Michael, you know, at the interval, Mark had brought it back to a 7-all deficit, and now, you know, the third stage of this match, and he's hasn't won a frame, and just due to a little error here and a little error there.
The game certainly flows, doesn't it? One player gets the
Yes,
advantage and has a run of 5 or 6 frames.
absolutely.
And
So
then it goes the other way.
You can never say the game's over until it's actually over.
Good shot from Mark Chiu there. He's in tactical control here. Take a good hit to get it safe. 2 cushions, left hand side spin. Well, he hit it full on, but has he left it?
Well, he hasn't left a shot on into a pocket, but he's left a possible plant on here. Do you think the option here would be better just to clip off the 2 and try and play a snooker in behind the 6 or the 8, or do you think he should have a go at the planting deck? Take his opportunities while they're there.
Well, if you can see it run out, I'd play the pot, but there's a lot of cover up the top left-hand side of the table, so it's just down to how Mark is feeling. Well, he played the plant, and I think he might have gotten a bit lucky there.
Okay, Marco's not too happy with that shot. He's a little disappointed with himself. He's left Mark an opportunity here. Okay, I think he'd be looking to run this up the bottom end of the table, Dean, because he's certainly got traffic to try and navigate if he tries to screw this back.
Well, positional-wise, I think the 3-ball either passes the 5, or he could plant it onto it, or go cushion first and off the 5. So I don't see that as a problem. Oh, we never saw that coming, Tony.
No, he's played a great shot there. That was the better option. He saw it, we didn't. Excellent shot. He's certainly not going to go out of this match without a fight. Okay, Marco's got a difficult shot here because he hasn't really got the natural angle to hit that too. He's sort of got to create an angle, especially with the 6-ball being there. Okay, he's looking to come off 1-2 rails. He's played that very well. Unfortunately, he's been a little unfortunate. Now, did anyone check to see whether that ball was frozen, Dean? Do you know the frozen ball rule?
I think it was just off the cushion.
Yeah, if the ball's frozen to the rail, the white ball must make contact with the rail, or the ball that he's hit must make contact with the rail. Not the opposing rail if it's frozen, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, certainly given Mark an opportunity to get back into the match.
Not the best shot I've ever seen.
Okay, you can probably play this inside the 5.
Might have to use a bit of check side on the cue ball to retain position on the 4.
Yeah, I think if he plays a 3 off the 5 and it goes in, it'll bring the 5 out and it'll give him a clear shot for the pocket on the 4.
Well, that's the problem he's faced with. He doesn't want to block the pocket again.
Yeah, it's not an easy shot. It's a tough cut. Big shot coming up here.
Oh, that's precisely what's happened. He has blocked the pocket, and he won't be happy with that.
Yeah, be a little bit disappointed with that. A little unfortunate. Okay, he's probably looking just to kick the 4 off the top rail and maybe snooker him in behind the 5. He's got to be very careful not to go on off here if that's the shot he's looking at playing. Or could he possibly clip off the 4 and pop the 5? No, I think he can't do that. Okay, come up with a good option. Okay, with the 9 being there, Dean, it's just made that shot just that little bit harder to play off the bottom rail like that.
But of course, the natural angle, the 9 ball's in the way, so he's got to get inside that 9 ball onto the side rail, full length of the table, backwards and forwards. It's a tough shot.
Yeah, it's a good shot required here. He doesn't have a big window to get through there, Dean, to hit that full, does he?
Well, I think if he hits it full enough, he'll pot it, but he's got to avoid the 9 ball.
Big frame here, big frame for Marco. He's on the hill. Well, it was never going to be an easy shot, Dean, to get past that 9. I actually thought he'd missed the 9 there for a second, but no, he's hit it and he's given Marco a ball in hand. All right, if there was ever a time for Mark Chiu to get a rack, this is the time.
4 to 5 ball should be easy. Just coming around the table to look at the angle for the next shot, the 5 ball back towards the 6.
He's played that well. He'd just be looking just to come up side rail with a little bit of side 6 into the bottom, top left-hand corner. He's looking at that shot. He's just looking where he's going to put the wide.
Yes, I just think at crucial times in the match like this, cue ball control is very, very important.
Yeah, he wants to get semi-straight on this, unless he's deciding that he's going to screw off this 6 and come up inside the 7 off the side rail there, and maybe pot it into the same pocket. Okay, it wasn't probably quite what he was after, but he may be okay.
Well, I think he played that shot that you suggested, Tony, so now he's got an awkward angle on the 7. Has to retain position on the 8 ball.
He's played that very well, Dean, especially at that pace.
Yes, you could have played it slow or played it around the table like he has done. So good pot required. Should be frame over.
Well, it's certainly been a frame he's been waiting for, Dean.
Yes, there were a few moments there when Marco could have won the match, frame and match. But a comfortable position, 6 frames in front. Of course, Mark Chiu with the break. You never know what's going to happen in 9 ball. The player could run 5 or 6 frames easily.
Absolutely, yeah. You just never know how these frames are going to pan out. You know, one bad shot here, one good safety there, just, yeah, can change everything, as we've seen.
I think all players like the potting side of the game, so when it comes down to tactical exchanges, it evens up the frame or evens up the match a bit more. So Marco will be looking, if he can, to get into potting positions, winning potting position.
Okay, he's come up with a good break there, one in the middle. Okay, he's on the 2, but he's not ideally on the 2, but at least he's on the 2. So good safety required here. Okay, Jimmy was looking to move the magic rack then, but it's he's got to get his little stopper in there to mark the ball where the ball is. So he'll lift the 9 ball and then he'll remove the rack.
Yes, in snooker they call it a ball marker. So the object ball, the ball in question, goes exactly back into its original position on the table.
Oh, you might want to take the marker off the table, Jimmy.
That also counts.
Mark's got to be careful here. He's bridging. Look, Marco's having a little chuckle to himself. He saw the funny side of that. Sometimes you're so caught up in what you're doing that you make little mistakes, don't you, Dean?
That's right, and that is a mistake, unfortunately, from Mark. He's left the 2-ball on. He checked the cue ball up with left-hand side off the cushion. I don't think he's got the snooker. I think the 2-ball goes.
Definitely not. He's certainly missed opportunity.
So Marco having a look, 3-ball into the opposite left corner pocket. That's where he wants the cue ball.
Yeah, as you once said before, Dean, the hardest part of this game is to win the first frame and then to win the last frame. So Marco's left with that dilemma. So let's see how he handles it, eh? He's not happy. He's not happy with something. It's a big pot. Is he looking at the 3-9 planting?
Whatever he plays, I'm not sure he's even going to play the pot here. Takes a good shot. He's stunned it round. Oh, that's a terrific shot.
Yeah, I think he's just decided to keep it simple. So he'd be looking to screw back up the table for this 4 into the middle.
Well, I think the cue ball will come off the right-hand side cushion here. He wants to screw into the cushion and back down the table. That's exactly what he's done. Good shot.
Yeah, I think he'll just run this through for the 6 into the centre. He's got a couple of options. I mean, he can play it down into the top left-hand corner, or he can just run it through for the... Maybe even might come off 2 cushions and come back out and pot it into the top left-hand corner. Our picture of our friend Mr. Wayne Carey. I don't know who his other gentleman friend is, but they're certainly enthralled in the match.
Needs a good white ball here. I think he'll play the 6 for the far left corner.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dean. Certainly for position anyway. I mean, he's got to put a lot more into this ball if he's going to screw back for the 7. So I think he'll just play it down into that top right-hand corner.
If he gets this one right, it could be frame and match. That's pretty good.
He's ended up nice on that 7. So he'll be just looking just to run this through. He can play it 2 ways actually. He can run it through and play the black into the top left-hand corner, or he can screw out and play it into the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, it's not ideal, Dean. He would like to have given that a little bit more.
He was pretty straight on the 7, wasn't he? So
I think
that was a forcing shot. I don't think that was the natural shot. He had to create that shot for position.
Sure.
Right, very important shot now.
What he's got to try and do here is he's got to try and pot the 8 and avoid the in-off into the centre pocket.
To do that, could create check side on the cue ball. He's taking his time. He knows this is frame and match.
He certainly checked it up, Dean.
Not ideal. He's got to cut this into the right-hand corner pocket. This is match ball.
He'll screw off this. That's why he's putting heaps of chalk on his tip. Screw off this into the side rail. He's just got to be careful not to hit it too hard because it could come back and go off into the same corner pocket. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner, Mr. Marco Teutscher. Congratulations. Hard luck, Mr. Mark Chiu, but you put up a valiant effort. I'd just like to thank my co-commentator, Mr. Dean O'Kane, for his services throughout the Sunday Night Shootout. It's been an absolute pleasure, my friend.
You're welcome.
And hopefully we'll get you back here to do a few more in the near future.
Who knows, I might even do some practice and play in it next year.
Oh my goodness, well, watch this space. So have you got anything on the horizon, Dean, coming up, or anything we should know about? Or
Well, we're just waiting for the World Seniors Snooker Tour to come back into play next year.
Okay, what we're going to do, okay, Dean, well, congratulations, and we're just going to get a few words from the winner. Oh, no, sorry, we're going to go to an ad break, and then we'll be back with the winner. Say a few words. Thank you.
Well, that's to the spice of it.
I like the SP2 because, one, the wrap goes all the way down. The design is elegant. It's not too much, it's not too little. You know, color scheme looks really nice. And then the 12.9 Revo just fits on there perfect. So to actually go through the process and see how every shaft is made and how they can tweak it this way or tweak it that way, the process is incredible, and just being able to understand it and have trust that it's made the right way, and you know it's formed this way every single time when you need it. It's like having a little coach on your shoulder while you're playing.
Welcome back to Massé Hamilton. I'm here with our runner-up of the Sunday Night Shootout, Mark Chiu. Mark, that was a great match.
Yeah, I think it's a decent match. And my comment is my break is better than last time, and my practice apparently works quite well. So that's why I have to run out in the middle of the match. In the half time of the match, we make the score even, and after come back, it's like a Ferrari, like speed up.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good comeback. I think everyone was thinking Marco was going to run away with it there. It's about 7-1 up, and then you just came back and it was 7-all before we knew it. And Marco, he looked pretty worried looking at him in his seat. Did you notice that at all?
No, I didn't notice what show on his face. I just focused on the table. I got a bit luck for some kick shot. I believe I have a 2 real kick shot in the run out, and next one's run out as well. So I think that's a big change for the match.
Yeah, I think our commentator Tony Van Wyck said it was a match of 3 halves, and it definitely was. Marco for the first 7 or 8 frames, and you just came back right into it. And then at the end, Marco just ran away with it, and there wasn't really too much you could do, was there?
Yeah, and actually I have a few chances, but it's not like easy shot. You know, it's not like a give and take. I don't expect that, of course, but you know, I have a chance, but under pressure, those shots are not easy for me at that moment, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations again, Mark. And Wayne Carey, our Billiards Legends, he's on hand with a little trophy. And
Congratulations, Mark. Thank you, Wayne. Great to see you playing so well.
And it's also payday for you as well, Mark. So, yeah, no, well done. Yep, all good. So we'll ask our champion Marco to come over now with a few words. Marco, well done. I mean, it's a big day. It started off at 11 o'clock this morning, just after 10 now, and you've come away with 2 titles and a bit of Christmas spending money as well.
Yeah, it's like, I can't believe it. I mean, like, I had to work really hard for this one. I was surprised, like, when I get 7-1 up, I can't believe what actually happened. The whole match changed around, and I'm like 7-all, before I knew it.
Yeah, no, we were sitting over there watching, and you were starting to look a bit down.
Oh, yeah.
You must have really sort of, dug deep to come back.
Yeah, I can't believe what happening, actually. I was just like 7-1 up, I felt like good, I hitting the ball good, and then I played pretty much perfect pool. And before I knew it, it's like 7-all, and I think, like, what's going on here? And then, like, a lot of things going in his way, and he played good. So, I'm just really happy that I stayed, like, focused and just, like, really, like, just stay in the match, just try my thing. And
yeah, I think after that break, we saw you sort of take your jacket off, and from then on, you looked like you were down to business again.
Yeah. That's what I felt. I felt like he made one mistake or something, and then I get like 1 frame up, and then I felt like now it's the time to just push it one more time. And yeah, he made a few mistakes, and I get the roll, and yeah.
So what's next for the holidays? Bit of a break from pool? You're going to carry on a bit of practice?
Yeah, it's definitely a break. Definitely a holiday break. Probably enjoying the weather and enjoying the summer. So no pool for a few days.
Fingers crossed you can head overseas sort of middle of next year or towards the end of the year, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to just get back to the big tournaments. That's why it's a big difference right now, just because you don't have that tournament pressure anymore. So it's hard to adjust, but yeah. Yeah,
no, it looks like you had a bit of pressure tonight to live so that was good.
Yeah, I definitely felt it. Yeah, nice.
Anyway, we've got Wayne Carey on hand. Wayne, got a trophy here for Marco.
Congratulations, champion. I'd like to present you this and also get you over. Get the money over.
Some money?
Yep, it's the money. So congratulations again, Marco. And that's it from us here at the Sunday Night Shootout. I'll hope to see you again next year. So thank you very much for tuning in.
Thanks very much.